Hello, welcome to Sharon B. Making Stuff. So Valentine's Day is just right around the corner. That's why today I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to make some scrumptious raspberry cheesecake for two. So let's go ahead and get started with our ingredients. So the first thing we'll be needing is a 1/4 cup of graham crumbs, and all I did was just stick my crackers in a bag, squished out the air, and then rolled it all over with a pestle to make sure that the crumbs are really nice and fine. You can also use a rolling pin or a bottle for this. You're also going to need 1 tablespoon of melted unsalted butter and 1/8 teaspoon of salt. For the cheesecake portion, you're going to need 6 ounces of cream cheese, 1/3 cup of granulated sugar, 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour, a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract or vanilla bean paste, which is what I'm using today, and 1 egg. And it's also very important to remember to have everything at room temperature before we begin. So for the raspberry puree, we're going to need 1/2 cup of fresh raspberries and 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar. For the toppings, we're using at least 6 raspberries, 2 to 4 mint leaves, and some powdered sugar if you want to make it look real fancy. So let's go ahead and start off by dumping our raspberries into a medium saucepan and mashing that all up until it's nice and mushy. You can also use a food processor for this part, but I enjoy it way too much, so I do it by hand. Next, we're going to run our puree through a strainer to get rid of all the seeds, and this part might take a while, but just be patient with it. All you have to do is run the back of your spoon against the strainer and it should come out really easily. So just go ahead and discard of whatever's left in your strainer. I mean, you could eat it because, fiber is good for you. But anyway, you should be left with a really nice raspberry sauce that we're going to transfer back into the saucepan, add in that sugar, and then we're just going to cook it on low heat for about 5 minutes until the sugar has dissolved and has thickened a little bit. And at the end of it all, you should be left with some raspberry goodness with jam-like consistency. Moving on to the oh-so-easy crust, you're going to pour your melted butter into the graham crumbs, mix that all together, add in that salt, mix that all together, and you are done. Record time. So go ahead and evenly distribute that crumb mixture between 2 6-ounce ramekins. And if you're wondering where I got my heart-shaped ramekins from, I actually got them from a local supermarket. But I can leave a link below where you guys can find something similar that is also heart-shaped and will also give you very cute-looking cheesecakes as a result. So to form the crust, you're going to give it a little shake and then use a spoon to pack it all down. So moving on to the cheesecake portion, we're going to combine the cream cheese and sugar in an electric mixer, and we're going to beat that for a good 2 to 3 minutes until it is smooth and creamy. And don't forget to occasionally scrape the sides of the bowl to make sure that everything gets mixed in well. After that, we're just going to add in the egg and mix that for another minute or so until it's well incorporated. And then we can move on to the vanilla extract or the vanilla bean paste, whichever one you're using. And finally, we can add in the flour. And the flour is just going to hold it all together, make sure it's not too runny, and it's going to give us that perfect texture that we want from a cheesecake. After that, we can go ahead and evenly divide the cheesecake batter among the 2 ramekins, and I'm just using a measuring cup for this part to make my life easier and less messy. After that, you can even out the tops using a spatula or a spoon or whatever, and then just add in the puree. So I just transferred my puree into a Ziploc bag, snipped off the end, and then created a little piping bag. Now I'm just dotting the tops of the cheesecakes and just going in with a chopstick to swirl it all in. And just a tip, if you want the puree to blend more easily into the cheesecake, you can cook the puree for less time, and so it doesn't come out as thick, so it's easier to swirl around. And also, if you want the raspberry flavor to go throughout the whole cheesecake and not just the top, you can layer between the batter and the puree as well. So to cook our cheesecakes, we're going to prepare a water bath for it. So get your bubbles ready, get that loofah on hand. I'm just kidding. We're going to need a deep dish pan and some water. And make sure that the pan is at least more than half of the height of the ramekin, and we're just going to fill up the water until it reaches halfway up the ramekins. And if you're wondering, a water bath actually ensures even cooking all throughout the cheesecake, and the moisture actually prevents it from drying out and cracking. So we're going to bake that at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. After that, you're going to let it cool completely and then refrigerate it for at least 4 hours. For the finishing touches, go ahead and arrange some fresh raspberries on top, sprinkle it with some powdered sugar if you wish, and garnish it with some mint leaves. So that is it for this raspberry cheesecake recipe. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Go ahead, try it out. Even if you don't have a Valentine to make it for or share it with, you can make it for your friends, your family, yourself, because why not? Self-love. And at the end of the day, love is love. And now I'm just getting too cheesy, so... Oh wait, hold on. Just look at that. Look at that texture for a second. That is a cheesecake. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, then please give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already, then don't forget to subscribe to Sharon B Making Stuff. And I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!